I love Whitby so much. It just has this rare combination where landscape, history, and atmosphere all come together in just the right proportions. You have these dramatic cliffs, the Gothic arches of the Abbey ruins that loom over town, centuries-old cottages on narrow medieval streets. It's not a resort in the manufactured sense, it's a real, actual, working fishing town that just also happens to be very beautiful. And the fish and chips here, hands down, some of the best in the country. If you haven't been to Whitby before, or maybe you haven't been in a long time, you need to visit. I'm gonna show you why I love this place so much, some of the things that you have to do, and I'm also gonna check out some new things that I've never done before. I decided to start my day at Fortune's Kippers. I've never tried kippers before, and this is supposed to be one of the best places that you can get them. Fortune's Kippers is a family-run business since 1872. I don't know a lot about kippers, but I guess they smoke them in the traditional way here on site in a small smokehouse, I think using oak. I also don't know how you're supposed to eat them, but she told me to warm it up in some warm water and have it warm, so I will do that, try it when I get back to my Airbnb. But I did want to come here early because I heard that they sell out, and once they're out, they just shut for the day. I finally got fish wrapped in newspaper. A lot of you have told me that I need to get fish and chips in newspaper, which is, I think, pretty much impossible to find at this point. But hey, my kippers came in newspaper. I think that counts as finally accomplishing trying fish out of a newspaper. Bucket list England achieved. Woke up the next morning to a horrific smell and realized I left my kippers in my backpack overnight. But that's okay, because the bed and breakfast I'm staying in has Fortune kippers as one of their menu items, so I still got to try them. My host said that it's common to put butter on them, so she gave me some nice warmed butter. They were delightful, so smoky and delicious. Definitely want to try them again. Wow, look at the views from over here on the East Cliff. Gorgeous. I've never come this far over on the East Cliff. There's this little spot with benches where you can just sit and take in the views. Apparently it's called the Hagerlith. I'm sure if I'm saying that wrong, you'll let me know. Time to do the 199 steps up to the Abbey. Weather-wise, beautiful day, but it is feeling quite humid, so this is the point when my face is gonna melt off. These are some kind of awkward stairs. This iconic stairway is a must when you visit Whitby, especially if you want to explore both sides of the cliffs. One of the most famous things about Whitby is that it served as the inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula. These stairs are featured in the novel, and they're just very iconic. They're something that you have to do when you're here. I really do love it here. It's just a gorgeous town, something interesting to look at in any direction. These stairs date back to at least the 14th century, possibly older than that. And I just can't imagine the thought of people carrying coffins up these stairs to the church. Just carrying myself up these 199 steps makes me feel a little bit better about the situation. That I don't have, I'm not carrying a coffin or anything. St. Mary's is a 12th century parish church. One of my favorite things about this churchyard is how weathered the headstones look. You can just tell they've gotten a lot of stormy wind and things over the years. I've heard that there are characters from Dracula that were inspired by gravestones here, but we have yet to find any of them. We tried searching for them the first time that we came to Whitby, and to no avail. So if you know where they are, please let me know. I would love to see them one day. Oh, look at that view. Are they accepting new residents? Because bury me in this churchyard in Whitby, please. This is definitely top tier burial ground. Hi, can I pet you? I love you. You're so sweet. I made friends with a cat and the ponies. It's a good day. Time to wander up to the Abbey itself. Never actually been here before to the actual ruins. You save 15% if you book online ahead of time. I think it's around £13. Or if you're an English Heritage member, you can get in for free. There is something so tranquil about wandering ruins like this of, old churches, abbeys. I think because ruins like this leave so much to the imagination that it's a very inspiring place to walk around. Every time I wander church ruins like this, my first thought is always, did Henry VIII destroy this? Because that seems to be the thing. It has a more storied history than that even. The Abbey was founded in 657 AD. Then I guess it was destroyed by Vikings, rebuilt by the Normans, and then of course, dissolved by Henry VIII, as he did. If there's one thing that this American has learned about English history, it's that Henry VIII destroyed a lot of good churches. I think the thing that's incredible about a place like this is that even in ruins like this, you can still see the layers of history. Wow. Picture of what it would have looked like in the 1200s. I got here right at opening at 10, and that was a really good decision because it's pretty low key this morning, but being a nice summer day, the end of school holidays, it's going to get busy all over in Whitby later today. So starting early, it's a very good thing here. Abbey here also has a small museum and a shop that has some pretty interesting things. I feel like the English heritage sites usually have pretty good merchandise, and the fact that there's a Dracula connection here makes it extra good merch here. And I even tried some Whitby gin I've never tried before, a cherry and citrus one. It was quite good. I feel like seeing kids walk these stairs is a personality test. The kids that count each step as they climb them, or the ones that just run right up. What kid would you be? I'd be the one that probably just ran right up. I'm not interested in counting things. Or would I have been the kid that would have said, how many stairs are left? How many do we have left to go? Are we there yet? Because I feel like that's a third option. Which one of those three are you? Every time I see things that say Jet Black, it makes me think of one of my favorite Thursday songs, Jet Black New Year. I feel like I should buy some Jet before I leave. It is very cool. I would love to buy some Whitby Jet. I've never owned any Whitby Jet yet, but I feel like today my budget's more Whitby Rock. That's a pretty good joke.
Surgeon rest his wounds, old Bembo cries. May a cradle now in haste on the quarterdeck be placed, that the enemy I may face until I die,
Oh, tide's going out. I was contemplating doing a boat tour today. One that maybe goes out to sea, but I don't know if there are any available because it's a busy day. However, last time Jeremy and I took this little boat right here. It was only £5 and it was a 20-minute boat ride around the harbor. It was around the marina, the harbor. Inexpensive, good activity. It is time for my favorite part of the day. It is time to have some fish and chips. Now, there are a lot of really highly rated places you could get fish and chips in Whitby, The Magpie Cafe is very popular with tourists, and for good reason. A very solid option. I have decided to try one that is also very highly rated. It seems to be a favorite among locals. It is called Trenchers. I'm here in the sit-down portion of the restaurant, and this is the fanciest place I've probably ever had fish and chips. Very posh. They have won a lot of awards for their fresh, flaky fish and chips, but I think my personal favorite that I saw outside was that they won a Loo of the Year award, so definitely gonna have to check that out before I leave. There's another sign outside that says that they are officially the best fish and chips in the UK. I don't know in what capacity that means, but it sounds promising. Oh wow, look at that. That is a regular, and it is quite large. I maybe should have gone with the small. One of the things that is special about this place is that it's one of those rare places left that cooks their chips in beef dripping. So if that is something that you prefer, maybe Trenchers is the option for you. Of course, had to get my side of curry sauce, and the fish and chips come with their homemade tartar sauce as well. Try a chip.
So yeah, so that comes on the
Oh, that curry sauce is really nice. Not that there's such thing as a bad curry sauce, at least not that I've experienced. I had a quite excellent haddock and chips in Scarborough, so I have a pretty high bar today. Almost forgot. Really nice flaky fish, nice crispy batter. Yeah, those are excellent. Those are definitely up there. I don't know if they're better than the ones I had in Scarborough the other day. That fish is just so fresh, so lovely. I don't know, you tell me, what do you think about that batter? Does that look like good fish and chips to you? Because they taste pretty good to me. Trenchers is certainly a solid option for fish and chips here in Whitby, but I'm curious if you've been somewhere else that you think I should try next time. Leave a comment and let me know. When a man says, take a trip out to the sea for £5, I say, okay, I will. I'll join you right now. Last time we were in Whitby, Jeremy and I did a little 20-minute boat cruise, also £5, but it was on a much smaller boat and it only stayed within the marina. So I'm very excited that we're about to go out to sea. Let's see if we can get somebody to wave at us. No? No takers? Okay, great. Oh my God, yes, people are waving. Okay, mission accomplished. That's what I want to do next time, a fishing trip. Ah! Wouldn't that be fun?
So we're down to the left of us there, right up at the top end of the beach, that is Sands End. That's a lovely little place to go. Yeah, about 50 minutes across the beach while the tide is out. To the right of us we've got shallow water.
Oh my gosh, can you see how crowded the steps are now? So many people on them. Going out to sea in 20 minutes means you go straight out and straight back. Not as much tour information as the ones that go around the marina, but it was really neat to see Whitby and the Abbey and just that gorgeous skyline from the sea. I mean, for £5 each, you could do both of them. You could learn about Whitby and the marina tour and then go out to sea and see it from a distance. think it's time for a penny pusher. There's a few options for amusements here. I like that there's one called Funland because that's the name of the arcade I used to go to at the beach I went to as a kid. Feels very nostalgic for me. But I do remember from our first trip here that Pleasureland has something called a Jurassic Bone Blaster, and maybe it's time for me to finally find out what that is. Got this cool capybara keychain that cost me about £1, but hey, that's a fun prize. And what is the Jurassic Bone Blaster? Turns out it's a shooting gallery, which is my favorite thing. After all that work, I think it's time for another kind of prize, and that is a lemon top. That is a good looking lemon top. I think they do other flavors too, but you're supposed to get lemon. Get a little bit of the whippy and the lemon. It's a good combo. It's kind of like a lemon Dole Whip or a Dole Whip swirl. It's delightful. Quite risky of me to bring my lemon top over to these seagull-infested parts of Whitby, especially considering how a seagull stole my ice cream in Wales. This is just such a nice beach and a lot more low-key than Scarborough was, although I guess the weather is not quite as nice as it was when I was in Scarborough. I noticed when we were out at sea that there's a row of colorful beach huts down there. I didn't ever notice those before. That's really neat. Sometimes some of y'all reach out and ask when we're gonna do a meetup, and I always want to plan one, but I just haven't yet. And I think doing something like that, like I've never rented a beach hut. What if we just like had a chill day at the beach and rented a beach hut and that was the meetup? Because I feel like that would be more fun than just like, hey, I'm in London, let's meet up, you know? What do you think? Should we rent a beach hut? It's a little windy in this bit. I can see through to the underneath. I don't love that, but I'm so close to the end, I gotta just walk down. I mean, I don't know if it's more unsettling or less that there's concrete on the underneath. That is like one part stairs, one part ladder, and I don't know that I'm feeling that adventurous today. But the views up here are fantastic. Made it to the end. Maybe next time I'll do that side. Well, that was quite the adventure for today. Made my way up to where the whalebone arch and the Captain Cook statue are. It's just such a beautiful day today. Now that the sun's back out, it's so lovely. The side of Whitby is just so lovely because you get the view of the Abbey and St. Mary's. And I just love how you can even see all the headstones in the churchyard from here. That church is what sticks out in the skyline when you're over at the Abbey, that it's the high point. It's a little park. And it's just that, a little park. Quite an appropriate name. Nice views. Thanks for the little memories, little park. I'm actually looking for another park that houses the museum that I want to check out. Ah, here it is. Must be this way. I'm really excited. Whitby Museum is a place that I have had on my radar for a while, but it's a little bit tucked outside of the main part of town, so it's my first time actually going. This park that it's in is so peaceful, full of all kinds of blooming flowers. Lots of roses and things in bloom. Great views. Everything you could want in a park. This place is just a delightful cabinet of curiosities, isn't it? Definitely has that Victorian cut, as Jason would say, vibe about it. There's everything here from fossils to model ships to coins. Oh my gosh, it just became my favorite museum because there's an old-timey machine. Hopefully I have a coin I can make it work. 1 penny will work. Do I have a penny? Like this kind of penny? Why is it that the older the doll, the creepier they are? Oh, she's definitely haunted. There's even a library and an archive. There are people in here doing research, looking through old newspapers, and this is really cool. Makes me want to solve a murder mystery by looking at old records. Is that anyone else's weird fantasy to solve a crime that's 200 years old by looking at a newspaper from then? Just me? Oh, it's so neat. You can actually look through the archives of the newspaper, and they'll help you with your genealogy research here, which is neat. Something I want to do a lot more of. Before we went to the UK the first time, I was able to trace my ancestry back to Devon, but I also know I have more than just that lineage. Hey, look, that's where I'm from. Lots and lots of model ships. Lots of interesting history. Lots of history about Captain Cook. You know, I knew that James Cook was from Whitby, but I didn't know that he chose ships that were built here in Whitby on his voyages, which makes sense. Nice piece of history to know about. These are some of the largest model ships I've ever seen. Oh wow, model of the Abbey in 1792. They even have windows from the Abbey. That's amazing. Wow, look at that one. Apparently this one dates back to the 15th century. Possibly the most interesting thing here is the mummified hand known as the Hand of Glory. Now, the origins of this hand are kind of hearsay. Apparently the hand was discovered in Castleton in an old cottage, but apparently the Hand of Glory is a hand that was severed off of someone who's been hanged. Definitely one of the more unique items here, but man, I could spend hours in this place. There's just so much to look at. A treasure trove of artifacts and oddities for sure. Well, what a gem this place is. Just a treasure trove of oddities and curiosities. I could have spent hours in there. And luckily, for the £8.50 admission, I now have an annual pass. I can come back and spend hours in there, which I might. I've had a wonderful time here in Whitby today. It is truly one of my favorite places in all of England. It is a fantastic day out. If you think that there's something I missed that I should do next time, make sure you let me know. I love the Yorkshire coast so much. There are other spots along the coast, maybe some smaller villages that I should check out. Let me know. Let me know about those hidden gems. And if you hadn't seen the video where I went to Scarborough, that'll be right up here. And also in the description will be a video for Robin Hood's Bay, which is really close nearby. Fantastic little fishing village. You should definitely check that video out too. I'll see you over there.